Ngihlala amacassette. Ngiyariwana ngiyaforward ngifuna sinde fast singene ku-desert. Singene ku-desert. Ubanokholozayo. Angihleli nentombi yami la. Khona ongqongqozayo. Kanti ubanongqongqozayo. Ekubhodokani. Sebhodokani. Kholoza mina. Ngizoni betha bhodokani. Yeah, bhodokani. Say it's far.
Legendary South African singer, songwriter, producer and composer Joe Nina has a new album out titled 2020. This current project focuses on calling for humanity to coexist in an environment of tolerance. To date, Joe Nina has released more than 20 albums while working with more than 50 South African artists as a music producer. And to tell us more about this journey and new album, Joe Nina joins us now via Zoom. Joe, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Morning, Zimbabwe. How are you? And morning to the viewers out there.
I'm good, man. Compliments to you too, and it's good to have you back on the show this morning. Now, Joe, we've just emerged from one of the busiest seasons for artists. Just reflect and look back on how the festive season has been like for you.
My festive has been only busy in terms of the release of this project, because this was due only in 2020 originally. But due to COVID, it has delayed. We started the project in 2019. And finally, when we finished it last year in I think it was in September, I was very excited. So it took us all 3 years, but more than anything, man, it's been quiet in terms of performances because of the lockdown situations, the stages we had to go through. It's been tough. It's been very, very tough. But I'm grateful and thankful that finally this album is complete, and it's got beautiful 15 songs, and it's all about the moments that we've been through past these difficult times of 2020 and 2021.
I mean, it's titled 2020, but it was released in 2021. Tell us more about that.
Like I said earlier on, we started the project in 2019 with the aim of releasing it in 2020. We were hoping for a beautiful year, 2020. And then in March already, there was a lockdown due to the COVID. And it was difficult to complete the album then, because you know that we couldn't all be at the studio at once because of the numbers of the people. I remember it was difficult to record the Soweto Gospel Choir and the Soweto String Quartet at once. We had to do two different moments. But because I loved the fact of 2020 with its difficulties, I decided we'll continue to call the album 2020 regardless, since it's released properly now on the 1st of Jan on all the digital platforms, or the digital stores, that is.
Now, take us through some of the jams that lovers of your music can expect to experience when listening to this album.
I mean, the video we just completed with Professor and Zakwe, I think it's a bomb. It's beautiful. It's a jammer. It's just to remind some of the up-and-coming musicians and the youth out there to say, because we can still move. There's a beautiful song that I did with Soweto String Quartet and Soweto Gospel Choir, which is called Bambelela. That one is a song of a moment in particular, talking about the situations we are really living in as we speak at this point in time. The suffering, the death toll, the struggles. I mean, when I lost Steve Kekana last year, it was the most painful moment of my life. Just immediately after that, it was Pratsepo Tsula, and the list just continued. My brother Vusi from the Nina Brothers. So the song on its own talks about that kind of a moment, and it's not only me that had felt this pain. I think it's everyone out there who lost their loved ones. There's a beautiful song I did with Benny Padime, which is also creating the awareness of people that are living with a different ability. Benny Padime is one of the blind human beings that I'm working with currently as well. And it's called I'm So In Love With You. I think it's a beautiful song. It's a ballad. The album is with 15 songs all in all. The bonus track is a remake of Ding Dong featuring Moti, if you know Moti from Mikasa. There's quite a lot. I'm also featuring in one of the tracks, Tux Singanga. There's quite a lot, man. There's Bongo Riot. There's a song that talks about Africa Unites because of the situations that we are in now. I think it's time that we should try our best and bring back Ubuntu because we are living in difficult times as we speak.
You know, Joe, I quite like your staying power. You managed to remain resilient, throughout whatever adversities that may be afflicting some of the artists and the music industry as a whole. And you continue to drive your fans ding-dong through your music. And throughout your career, you've managed to tap into different genres. Now, do you want to talk to us about the sound you were going for when producing this 2020 album?
2020 was mainly just to say to my fans, grow with me. I think I'm becoming more and more matured every day. I'm experiencing different things. I'm learning different sounds. So obviously, those who like categorizing music would call it contemporary Afro, whether Afro pop or Afro soul. I call it music because I think it's a beautiful journey. I mean, 15 songs. Lately, everyone talks about just a single, and if they've worked hard, they're talking about 4 songs or 5 songs. It's an EP, but 15 songs. I think it's been trying to say to the guys out there, let's take care of our craft. Let's love our craft. I know that things have changed. Now we're going online all the time. Everything is gone digital, but we can still make sure that we do nothing but beautiful music that will last, messages that will talk to the people out there, because we need each other, and that's why music is there. Music is to communicate all these sufferings and beautiful moments of our lives, as we speak.
Yeah. Let's now talk about the process that went into composing and producing this project and some of the people that you've worked with.
The saddest moment was when I did a duet with Steve Kekana, a song called Inhlisiyo Yami.
Sure.
That was a week before he passed on. I also recalled a beautiful song that I did with Nana Coyote because I still believe that he's a legend. He's been there in our music industry and he's still there, and I don't want him to be forgotten. So I remade a song that I did for him originally, but this time I put it together as a duet. Like I said earlier, once again as well, Soweto String Quartet and Soweto Gospel Choir. Those guys were wonderful. Thank you guys. It was difficult, but we made it. Professor and Zakwe, you guys just made a banger. It was too beautiful. I recall when we were recording my voices, I was in the bedroom because we had to move to a smaller place, and they were recording it from Etegwini, KZN. I think Zakwe was in Potchefstroom. We had to send our files through. It was just another process, but it was beautiful. Here's the outcome, and I'm grateful to the ultimate up there rather.
Yeah.
Not forgetting working with the greats like Brafana Zulu, Brakaya Mashango on saxophone, and the young musicians that I'm trying to bring back to bring up into the music industry, the bass player Ngululego, the drummer Ntsako, Sia on the keys. It was just a beautiful team, and I want to say to them, thank you very much, guys. I couldn't have made it alone without you all, because this album came to life because of all our efforts and the unity that we had and the love that we shared. More than anything, the respect that we had. So I think it's a beauty. I would love people to get it. And I'm still working on trying to make the CD out of it. So, because people are saying they still want to have CDs. That's old school, apparently. But I'm working on getting sure that we make the CDs for those who need the CDs. It's just going to be a little bit of a challenge to find out how we can do the distribution of that, because the CD shops are closed now.
Right. And Joe, you are a multi-award-winning musician, absolutely no doubt about that. When you look at some of the accolades you've received over the years, which ones you just say stand out for you? I know my personal favorite is Ding Dong, amongst others, of course. I know that this particular song has defined and reaffirmed brand Joe Nina.
Yes, that was definitely my nightmare.
Nightmare, you say?
Even this remake, I had to do it because people were demanding that we can't find it. Remember, it was on a cassette.
Yeah.
So I had to find a way to try and sound like myself.
Sure.
When I was 15, 16 years or 17 years old, and I think I gave it my best shot. But yes, when I won the first award of the, I think it was Smirnoff at the time, that was a great moment of my life, because that was my first award before it came to the summers. And when I got the first and the second and the third summers, I thought, wow, here am I coming in for real in this industry. And I was loving it big time because I felt in love with the fact that my career as a musician, as an artist is growing, and it's been my dream. And to date, I think every moment for me counts the most.
You speak of a nightmare. You know what my biggest nightmare was? Taking the cassette, trying to rewind Ding Dong, and then take the cassette, take a pen, and then just simply spin it.
And then
oh gosh, we come far. But you are quite big, Joe, on mentoring and nurturing new talent. Now, speak to us about why this is so important to you and the industry.
At the end of the day, for me, it's all about development. You know, there's moments that I had in my life when I was growing up with all the giants of the times. They shared so much information with me, which I would love to part with that information to the up-and-coming musicians. For me, that is very crucial. Also, I think it's important for the young up-and-coming musicians to know where we are coming from, for them to know where they are going. Because if you don't know, it's said, that's why you get one-hit wonders. You get a song, it's only a hit for 6 months and it's gone. It's only because they don't know the root of where it's all coming from. I asked another young musician the other day to say, "Where was Mpaklan?" And he was like, "What?"
What?
I was like, his voice phone. Say what? Okay, no, forget it. That's me. It's like,
what?
Say what? So it's been like hectic, and I think it's just very crucial that they know where we're coming from, because it's our history, it's our heritage, and if we don't take pride of it, we're just as good as people that we don't know who we are.
You know, Joe, I can all go on and on and on, but we're out of time, unfortunately. We just kicked off the new year now. Just give us a glimpse of what 2022 is looking like for you as an artist, especially now that you have a new album out.
My first prayer when the year begins was that please God intervene. A lot is going on around us. Sure. A lot of corruption, a lot of people trying to control people, a lot of powerful people trying to control the world. And I want to say, Lord, please intervene. And I want to believe that 2022 is going to be a beautiful year. All the challenges will come, but we will pull through, and it will just have to be a beautiful year. We've lost jobs, not only musicians, but a lot of people out there. So families are struggling. There's a lot of poverty going on. And I'm hoping slowly but surely 2022 will be the beginning of change, the beginning of harmony, and the beginning of love, and more than anything, the beginning of peace. And let that violence against women and children also, please, let it end. So for me, as an individual, I pray and I believe that 2022 will be a beautiful year.
And my prayer is you continue keeping your fans ding-dong with your music. Joe, great chatting to you, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the viewers. Halala.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Well, that was a legendary South African singer, songwriter, producer, and composer, Joe Nina, and he's been speaking to us about his musical journey as well as his new album titled 2020.
Oh, I'm a